Hey there guys, playing a little bit of Dear Esther for a little indie showcase, and I'm just going to go ahead and start the game here and shut up for the whole rest of the time because this game's kind of like that. It's not really, you'll see. So here we go.
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth, and the waves always at my ankles, I felt as though everything had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude. When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums, just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6, and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
I have found the ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
Let's steer clear of the water. Alright, so yeah, this is the game so far. You can't really say it's a game in terms of you don't really do too much. Right now I'm just using WASD, walk around, mouse to look around, and that's about it. No jump, no sprint, no crouch, no shooting. Not much of anything. It's more of an interactive novel, I guess you could say. Video novel. And it is beautiful looking though.
Reading Donnelly by the weak afternoon sunlight. He landed on the south side of the island, followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side. I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend. But then, he didn't have my reasons. When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid, or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this. Keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Alright, so this is Dear Esther. Gonna cut it off right here because I don't want to spoil too much. So obviously the point of the game is the story, the narration that you hear, and the game is interesting in that regard that it is unique each playthrough. You don't hear the same speech, the same narration every single time in the same order. So it's an interesting game. It's one of those games as art type of deal. But it's currently $9.99 on Steam, and you should check it out. It is a remake of a mod of Half-Life, and it's a really great experience. I hope you guys check it out and enjoy it just as much as I have and will again now that this is remade. Have a good one.